This is part 5 of my 6-part series on the Trinity. This time we will be looking at Christianity and the historical foundation of the Trinity. We'll also be examining several prominent historians and what they say about this concept. The concept of the Trinity in Christianity was established soon after Christ's time on earth. The earliest usage of the word Trinity came from the 2nd century Christian writer Theophilus of Antioch, who said, "In a like manner, also the 3 days, which were before the luminaries, are types of the Trinity, of God, and His Word, and His wisdom." But as one can see, this concept of God is far older than that. Based on the evidence found in Jewish tradition and what is known about the historical Jesus, modern-day historian James Charlesworth affirms that it is likely that Jesus believed himself to be the Son of God. We now have abundant and persuasive evidence that Jews, roughly contemporary with Jesus, did use the technical term Son, or Son of God. They attributed this title to the long-awaited Messiah in God's drama of salvation. It seemed to follow that he, Jesus, thought of himself as a son, and perhaps since the owner of the vineyard is none other than God, as God's Son. Jesus within Judaism, page 152. This understanding came with earlier Jewish understanding of the Son of Man. Many historians have noticed that the terms Son of Man, Jesus, and God seem to be used interchangeably. Contemporary historian E.P. Sanders supports this. In some passages, it is Jesus' kingdom, in others, God's, in others, apparently the Son of Man. Thus, Matthew 19:28 mentions the new age when the Son of Man comes on his throne of glory, while the parallel passage, Luke 22:28-30, refers to Jesus' kingdom. Jesus and Judaism, page 308. Most historians agree that the Gospels portray Jesus as divine. Bart Ehrman, a critical scholar of Christianity, says, "These Gospels do indeed think of Jesus as divine, being made the very Son of God, who can heal, cast out demons, raise the dead, pronounce divine forgiveness, receive worship together, suggests that even for these Gospels, Jesus was a divine being, not merely a human. Jesus as God in the synopsis." For ante-Nicene Christians, 1st to 4th century, the question wasn't whether Jesus was God, but in what way was he God? As described by the historian Bart Ehrman, the Council of Nicaea dealt with the nature of Jesus' divinity. These were issues debated from earlier times, and the debates came to a head at the Council of Nicaea. There, everyone agreed that Christ was personally divine being, that he was the creator of the universe, that he was infinitely above every other being in the cosmos in terms of grandeur and power, apart from God the Father. But what exactly was his relationship to God the Father as God the Son? It was that which was debated at Nicaea. As I began my talks in New Orleans by laying out the terms of the debate, the Son of God, the Council of Nicaea, and the Da Vinci Code. Also noteworthy is the identity of the understanding of the Christ hymn found in Philippians 2, 6-11. The Christ hymn has been dated by most scholars to be from the early church within a few years after the time of Jesus. Charlesworth, The Historical Jesus, page 28. Harudu, From Jesus to Paul, Studies in Honor of Francis Wright, page 114. The Christ hymn makes a distinction between Jesus and God the Father. Yet at the same time, Jesus is declared equal to God, yet separate from him. Similar constructs to this can be seen in the Gospel of John and in later Christian writing. And that ends part 5 of my 6-part series on the Trinity. In part 6, we'll be going over a brief conclusion.